A Bunny a Day by Nordryd. Will this day ever end? It all started with waking up past your alarm and being late to school. Not only that, but by missing first period, you missed a big test, which you stayed up last night studying for. You had to go in during lunch period to take it, thus missing out on a meal. On top of all that, it's storming outside, and has been doing so all day. You're grungy, tired, hungry, and just in a rotten mood. At least there's only 2 periods left in the day. Then you can go home and cry on your own. This is just one of many bad days you've been having. Not getting enough sleep, being slammed by homework, and just feeling empty. There's something missing in your life. You can feel it. Only one problem. You don't know what. This is the reason you've been missing out on sleep. This feeling of emptiness has been keeping you up at night. What are you lacking? Why do you feel this way? Contemplation and worrying about this nonsense keeps your brain cells firing all night. Why is this such a problem? For all intents and purposes, your life is fine. Hopefully this streak of bad days would be broken soon. At least you can go to the safe haven of your room after school and cry on your own. It's the last period of the day, and you've made it through the day so far with no homework. Though you are in chemistry. This class usually ruined all no homework days. Judging by how the rest of the week has been, you'd probably get another homework assignment. Or maybe today will be different? Maybe Lady Luck would finally bless you with no chemistry homework? Probably not. Alright class, the teacher says. In light of learning about the periodic table this week, I am giving you a project. The entire class groans, except for you. Your face just goes flat into the desk in disbelief. Oh, not homework. A project. Your assignment will be to pick 6 elements on the periodic table and do research on them all. The requirements are listed on the rubric I'm passing out, the teacher says. One student raises their hand. Yes? Can we work in partners? The student asks. I was just about to mention that. Yes, you may work with partners, the teacher says, earning some cheers from the class. And we have an even number of students in the class, so everyone should be able to find someone to work with. The class cheers, except for you. You just can't find it within your awful mood to feel happy. You have 2 weeks, the teacher says. Find a partner and come to me when you know which elements you would like to research. But once someone else picks an element, it's off limits, so don't wait. And don't forget to read over the rubric. With that, everyone got out of their chairs and scrambled around the room to find their best friends. In that moment, you have horrifying epiphany. You don't know anyone in this class. You've always kept to yourself and never talked to anyone. With school, you just wanted to get in and get out. You start to panic. Who would be willing to work with you? You frantically look around and everyone seems to be paired up already. But there's an even number of students in the class and everyone was here today. If you were on your own, then someone else was too. You pan around the classroom and your eyes land on the only other person in the class who was alone. Next to you, a pink-haired girl with a green skirt and white tank top is just standing there by her desk all by herself, playing with her hands and looking down at the ground. Well, the teacher says, approaching you and the girl. It appears you two are the only ones left. Say hi to your new partners, and make sure to come to me when you decide which elements to research. The teacher leaves you alone with your new, partner. The girl just hides behind her long pink hair and appears to be recoiling away from you. How long has this girl been in your class? You don't remember ever seeing her before. Has she always been in the same class as you? Regardless, why did you have to get a partner project today? You would have preferred homework to this, because at least you could go home and be alone for the rest of the day. But now you had this partner to worry about. And judging by how quiet this girl was being, you could already tell that this was going to be an awkward couple of weeks. Oh well, no use in complaining about it. It looks like this girl wasn't going to be the icebreaker, which meant you had to take initiative. Hi there. The girl looks at you briefly and immediately darts her eyes away. You can almost hear a small squeak coming from her. Is she scared of you? You reach your hand out and introduce yourself, trying to get her to talk. Maybe if you introduce yourself first, it would encourage her to be more open. Finally, she makes extended eye contact with you. Half her face is still behind her hair, but you can tell she's looking at you. Maybe it's the way the light is flickering through her hair and shining on her face, but her cheeks look bright red. You also see a smile on her face, which reassures you a little. Hi, she says quietly. She has a really soft voice. Hi, you say. What's your name? It takes a moment, but eventually... I'm Fluttershy, she says. She seemed to trail off as she introduced herself. Even more awkward, she left your hand hanging. Slowly, you retract your hand, and out of force of habit, you start rubbing the back of your neck. This girl was really quiet. Almost too quiet. She seemed to be acting rather strangely. She's not making much eye contact with you, and she's twirling her hair a lot. It's hard to tell, since her face is hidden behind her hair, but she appeared to be... blushing? Suddenly, the bell rings, signalling the end of class, and the end of the school day. The awkwardness eats up your remaining time. Ugh, damn. The bell also seemed to jolt Fluttershy a bit, judging from the little squeak she made. It also made something snap her out of the trance. I guess class is over, Fluttershy says. Yeah, you say, as it's all you can think of at the moment. Well, we should at least see what elements are left for us to choose from. Okay, she coos. Man, she's super shy, isn't she? You could already tell that these next few days were gonna be awkward. You walk up to the teacher and hope that the project didn't get harder because you wasted all your time with the awkwardness between Fluttershy. You two are the only ones who haven't chosen your elements yet, the teacher says. Sorry, Fluttershy says. So, what's left? You ask. Only 6, which you will be assigned by default, the teacher says. You two have lithium, cesium, fluorine, neon, arsenic, and copper. You sigh. The last thing you wanted was a big project like this. You don't even know what half these elements are. and you have the quietest partner in existence. All right. Thank you, you say, walking back to your desk to get your things and get out. Fluttershy says behind you. You turn around to see Fluttershy standing in that seemingly signature shy stance. Her hands held in front of her knees bent in, and her hair covering half her blushing face. Yeah? You say. Where are you going? She asks. Probably home, you say. Why? Oh, well, I mean, this is kind of a big project, and shouldn't we get started soon? She says. We have 2 weeks, you know, you say. I know, but, Fluttershy says. Never mind. Sorry. You study her a little more, and you can't help but feel a little guilty. All she wanted to do was get started on the project, right? What would that involve? Just something like looking things up on your laptop and maybe reading a book or two. Completely harmless. Were you really just about to go walk out on her? You don't know this girl at all, yet you feel bad about potentially abandoning her. Besides, how could you say no to such an innocent face? Alright. I guess we could go to the sweet shop and start working, you say. Yay. She squeaks, taking you by surprise a bit. Immediately, she recurls into her shy stance. I mean, yay? You raise your eyebrow at the sudden outburst. Maybe she wasn't that soft-spoken. Either way, you gather your things and start the trek to the sweet shop with Fluttershy. As you walk, you're hoping it won't be awkward. It probably will, though. You spent about 10 minutes at the sweet shop with Fluttershy, and it was every bit as awkward as you thought it'd be. It was basically you with your laptop out, and her with a notebook open, writing down things you found interesting. Your mood really hasn't improved at all either. You're still just as cranky as you were at school. At least Fluttershy was nice. Still, she wasn't talking at all. She probably is the quietest girl you've ever met. And she's still hiding behind her hair. Is she scared of you or something? Why is she being so shy? Maybe you should just call it a day. The teacher mentioned allocating class time to work on the project, so that you would give a moment to work with Fluttershy as well. You've got some information written down already, so it's not like you've made zero progress. You're about to say something, but something on your shin interrupts you. It feels fuzzy. You look down and you're shocked to see a white bunny. What the hell? You say. Where'd you come from, little guy? Fluttershy looks down below the desk and gasps. Angel Bunny, she says. How did you get out my backpack? Huh? You say. Come here, Angel, Fluttershy says. Getting up out of her seat, she comes over to the bunny, apparently named Angel, and picks him up. He's not bothering me, you say. I just don't want him to get lost, Fluttershy says as she sits back down in her seat with Angel in her arms. Can I ask you something? You raise your eyebrow at Fluttershy as she pets Angel. I guess. Sure, you say. Are you okay? Fluttershy asks. What do you mean? You ask. Well, you've looked really upset all day, Fluttershy said. Are you feeling alright? Wait, this girl actually cares about you? She's apparently been keeping an eye on you as of late. I've been fine, I guess, you say. Are you sure? Fluttershy asks. You're about to say yes, but you stop when you see something strange in her eyes. Her eyes aren't filled with apathy like everyone else's. She looked genuinely concerned. She looked interested in your well-being and could tell something was wrong. Her eyes don't falter one bit. She looks at you intently, waiting for an answer. And you notice something else. She's kind of cute. You take a deep breath. Alright. You got me, you say. I've been having a horrible time. Oh no, she says. What's been going on? Homework, projects, loss of sleep, depression. The list goes on, you say. Oh, Fluttershy whimpers. You do look rather tired. It's fine, you say. You don't hear a reply from Fluttershy, but instead you see her get up and walk over to you. Here, she says, holding Angel out to you. Hold this. You give her a quizzical look. Why? Holding a bunny always cheers me up, she says with a giggle. A bunny a day keeps the sadness away. That's what I always say. You try not to chuckle at her little saying. It was kind of cute, but you didn't want to hurt her by laughing. You look at Angel and look back at Fluttershy. She has the sweetest smile on her face. How can you say no to a smile like that? You could at least humour her, right? Carefully, you take Angel from her hands and bring him up to your lap. Angel just looks at you for a second, before nuzzling your chest. For the first time today, you smiled. Angel sure looked cute in your lap, nuzzling your chest. You use your hand to pet his head. You look up to Fluttershy, who's sitting back in her chair, and she's giggling, and you can barely make out a slight blush in her cheeks. You know, it's actually kind of working, you say. I'm glad, Fluttershy says. I think he likes you. You chuckle, scratching behind Angel's ear. As you do so, you have an epiphany. This is the nicest anyone's ever been to me. But you barely know me, you say. Why? Fluttershy blushes and starts twirling her hair. You looked sad, Fluttershy says. I don't want you to be sad. You can't help but feel a little twinkle in your heart at her words. She really does care about you. You look down at Angel, and he's snuggled up in your lap. You look back up to Fluttershy, and she's still playing with her hair. It's oddly adorable, even cuter than Angel sitting in your lap. You give her a smile. Thanks. I needed this. Fluttershy giggles again. I'm so glad I could help. A few days later, you were hoping your streak of bad days would be coming to an end soon, and Lady Luck was smiling down on you that day. You've been bestowed with perhaps the sweetest, cutest partner in the world. Every day after school, you've been hanging out with Fluttershy at the sweet shop to work on the project, and each day was better than the last. You're not afraid to admit to yourself that you have a crush on her. How could you not? She's just so sweet and kind. She was really quiet at first, but once she opened up, she was quite conversational. She's especially talkative if you can get her alone, which you discovered one day when you had the guts to suggest going back to your house to work instead of going to the sweet shop. Surprisingly, she actually said yes. Before you knew it, you were in your room with her working on the project and just chatting with her. You finally had someone to vent your issues to, and it was a huge load off your mind. In return, you listened to her stories. Most of them involve her adventures at the animal shelter. You find it really cute how much of an animal lover she is. Turns out, she actually carries Angel and a bunch of other animals with her in her backpack. It was kind of nice how attached she is to her animals, and how much she cares about them. It was like she was an animal whisperer or something. Angel was by far your favourite. Whenever he could, he would hop into your lap and snuggle up, even when you didn't exactly want him to. But all it would take was one nuzzle to melt your heart, and make you succumb to his cuteness. But Fluttershy was far cuter than Angel. You couldn't wait to see her again today. She couldn't come back home with you this time, since she had some things to take care of at the animal shelter. But she'd be here later. You sit in your room on your laptop, researching for your project, hoping to get some things done before she got here. Maybe you could take some time to just talk to her about the project looming over you two. Suddenly, your phone rings. Your heart dances at the name on screen. Hello? Fluttershy? You say? Hi, she says. I can't come over tonight. What? You say? Why not? I'm needed here at the shelter, Fluttershy says. Some of the animals still need to be tucked in, and they're being a bit frantic. You try not to chuckle. She tucks in the animals at the shelter? How much cuter can this girl get? Okay, you say. Well, that's fine. We can work tomorrow. Oh, I'm so sorry, Fluttershy says. Tomorrow, of course. I guess I'll see you later then, huh? You say. Goodbye, Fluttershy says. I'm sorry. No worries, you say. Goodbye. You hang up and stump back where you're seated. You're not going to see her today? You sighed. Oh well. Maybe it would be good to have a break from working so much. Still, you aren't going to see her today? Fluttershy should be here. You approach the door that says Canterlot Animal Shelter. Taking a deep breath, you walk inside. You look around and see kennels and cages filled with sleeping animals. You smile. Looks like Fluttershy's been hard at work. You hear a familiar voice echo throughout the establishment and follow it. You walk into another room and see a familiar pink-haired girl with what appeared to be a storybook. The door closes behind you, a little loudly, and Fluttershy appears to flinch. She turns around and gasps when her eyes land on you. You! She says in a hushed yet excited manner, smiling big. What are you doing here? Well, I wanted to see some animals and... You're interrupted when Fluttershy lunges at you and gives you a big hug. The first hug she's ever given you. Oh, I'm so happy you're here, she says, squeezing you tight. It takes a moment, but you hear a small gasp from her, and she lets go of you. I'm sorry, she says, brushing her skirt off and blushing majorly. No worries, you say. So, What are you up to? Fluttershy perks up almost immediately. Oh, I was just about to tell the little puppies a bedtime story. You tell the animals bedtime stories? You ask. Fluttershy blushes. I want them to get a good night's sleep, that's all. You chuckle. Wow, that's really, really what? Fluttershy coaxes. Cute, you say. Fluttershy's eyes appear to sparkle at that one simple word. Her face goes visibly redder, and she starts twirling her hair again. Oh, thank you, she says. Do you want to join us? You give her a smile. I'd love to. She gives a small squeak of delight and gestures you to follow her to the puppy kennels. You sit down next to her as she opens up the storybook. You don't know why, but you feel an urge to try something bold. So, what are we reading tonight? You say, using your hand to rub her knee. You hear her gasp as you place your hand on her knee. She looks down at her knee and then at you, her eyes wide. Oh, sorry, do you not like that? You ask, retracting your hand. Wait, she says, bringing your hand back, surprising you. I don't mind. You slowly grow a big smile as you start massaging her knee. Her face is the reddest you've ever seen it, and it's the cutest thing you've ever seen. She does something you never would have expected from a timid girl like her. She places her own hand on top of yours and starts moving it in tandem with yours. In response, you interlace your fingers with hers and squeeze her hand. You hear her whimper and look up to see the biggest smile on her face. For a moment, you just gaze into her eyes. She doesn't falter, and neither do you. You've always thought she was cute, but until now, you've never realised how beautiful she is. Her big teal eyes, her flowing pink hair. Oh, her gorgeous face. You say, snapping yourself out of your spell. Story time? Oh, Fluttershy says. Of course. With that, she returns her attention to the puppies and begins reading from the storybook. You watch in admiration as her love for animals shines brighter than it ever has before. She was a natural at caring for animals. As she read, your hands remained interlaced. You've never felt so close to her. A few days later, well, this was it. The last day of the project. And your last day with Fluttershy. You've just finished your project up, and it was time to part ways for the last time. Standing on either side of the open front door, you don't want to watch her go. Judging by how she's standing outside the door and looking at you, she doesn't want to go either. Thanks for being my partner, Fluttershy says. I had a lot of fun with you. Me too, you say, leaning on your doorframe. I guess this is it? Fluttershy asks, holding her hand in front of her. Well, I mean, this doesn't have to end, you know, you say, boldly taking her small, delicate hand. We could keep seeing each other. Fluttershy's face goes bright red as you take her hand. You can feel your face mirroring hers. What do you mean? Fluttershy asks, her eyes sparkling. I mean, we don't have to work on homework to spend time together, you say, squeezing her hand. We could just spend time together anyways. Fluttershy utters a small squeak, brushing her hair and resting her hand on her neck. She bends her knee and looks away, smiling big with red cheeks. You can't help but chuckle. She's just adorable. Can I tell you a little secret? You ask. Fluttershy looks back at you, and her eyes seem to sparkle again. She takes a step closer. Oh, okay, she says. The other day when I came to the shelter, I didn't come to see the animals, you say. You didn't? She says. You shake your head. I came to see you. Fluttershy's eyes go wide, and her cheeks go redder than they ever have before. Me? Fluttershy asks. To be honest, I missed you, you say. Fluttershy's smile seems to tremble, as if she's tearing up. She looks away again, covering her mouth with her hand. She also bends her knees in a timid fashion. She twirls her hair, keeping her hand glued to her cheek. She makes brief eye contact with you, only to dart away again with a small giggle. You don't say anything. You just smile as you admire the most adorable creature you have ever seen. There's not a prettier sight in the world. Can we really see each other again? Fluttershy asks, hiding behind her long flowing hair. Well, why do we have to say goodbye right now? You say. Without waiting for a response, you attempt something smooth and bold. You let go of her hand and walk up to her. With only a few seconds, you wrap your arms around her and tilt her back just a bit as you lean in and plant a kiss on her delicate lips. A loud squeak comes from her as your lips meet hers. She remains stiff in your embrace for only a moment before you feel her entire body relax in your arms with a low moan. She begins moving her lips in tandem with yours as you hold her close. Oh, her lips. Her delicate lips. They're like candy. So delicious. You move your lips more, and she follows you perfectly. She whimpers as you begin caressing her waist, and she rubs the nape of your neck in return. Never before have you felt so much pleasure in your life. Every movement of her lips further fuels the erupting passion within your heart. Boldly, you move one down to her butt, making her moan into your mouth. She reciprocates by slipping a hand up your shirt. You squeeze her delicate body close as the scent of her hair envelopes your senses. The taste of her lips, the sound of her moaning, the feeling of holding her, the aroma of her hair. Oh, it's all so intoxicating. You start brushing her hair, making her moan. She returns the favour, making you groan as well. It's all so wonderful. How was it possible to feel this good? And just like that, it was over. Your first kiss with Fluttershy. You hold Fluttershy in your arms and gaze into her big, shocked teal eyes. You see tears build up in Fluttershy's beautiful eyes as a big smile graces her. Oh my, she coos. For a moment, you just gaze into her beautiful eyes. You use your hand to wipe her tears away, making her shudder and giggle. Well, I guess I don't have to leave now, Fluttershy says, blushing. Without another word, you scoop Fluttershy up in your arms, making her gasp. She looks at you with a twinkle in her eye. How about I take you out for some dinner? You say. Fluttershy smiles.
That sounds delightful.
You smile and give her another kiss as you begin to carry her to your car.
This girl, she's amazing.
She barely said a word when you first met her,
but now she's yours.
Who was to know how sweet and adorable this girl truly was, and she'd be the one to end your bad day streak. She made you feel happy for the first time in a while. How did you not notice her before? You're not sure, but it doesn't matter. Now you can give this beautiful, adorable girl all the attention she deserves, starting with your very first official date. Tonight, you are going to treat her like a princess, because it's what a sweet girl like her deserves.